Welcome to Library Creamy and welcome to Album de la Creme. A little French there because it sounds fancy. Yeah, okay. As you might have guessed, I am going to do what that one uncle did after he came back from vacation. Do you remember after he gave you that one ugly t-shirt that didn't even fit, you had to sit through a slideshow of photos and videos? Yes, I'm going to show you photos and videos from my trip. I did think of you and got you some Kit Kats, but they sell them everywhere, so I ate them all. Speaking of Kit Kats, I'm going to talk about my recent trip to Japan. The last time I went there was winter of 2019. That's right before the whole shabalama ding dang happened. I was so excited about the trip and anxious about forgetting passport or money or slipping through the flight and such. I couldn't sleep a wink. And then I made a big mistake of checking in right away after I got to the airport. They had no food in departures because it was a small airport. That was just rude. I was angry, tired, and the person in front of me was being indecisive and kept adjusting the chair, trying to hit my beautiful face. So I tried to calm myself down by playing Pokemon Violet on my Switch. And I finally landed in Narita airport. I had to take a train named Skyliner, which was fun to ride. I could actually see Skytree from afar. And I met my friend and went to the hotel. After unpacking, I had to eat. And I went to McDonald's. Yep, I am that person that goes to another country and goes to McDonald's. But I did order chicken teriyaki burger. Oh, by the way, they gave me this cone thingy and it was a tracker. So they actually brought the food to me in McDonald's. I felt so entitled. And then, after eating, I gained some energy enough to start working around Akihabara. So Akihabara is actually this place with a lot of anime or game related stuffs. First of all, I stopped by Big Camera to buy batteries for my GoPro, and then I went to a store that sells figurines and anime products. I spotted things I wanted like the tiny Monster Hunter figurines, Nintendo game character products, Pokemon plushies and everything. But I was planning to go to Nintendo official stores next day and Capcom official store and Pokemon store as well. So I didn't really buy anything at the store, which I regret. And after browsing things and trying some gacha machines, we went to a place named this Bookoff. So Bookoff is basically like a Goodwill or an Oxfam. You use books or CDs or DVDs or some games and they buy it from you and they just flip it with profit. I originally planned to spend $100 in Bookoff, but I ended up buying nothing there. It was because I don't really play game card version games in Nintendo Switch unless I just finished 20 chicken nuggets at 2 o'clock in the morning and I have to play Ring Fit. And those amiibos were mainly Animal Crossings or Smash Brothers. And I don't really play a lot of those games. And Animal Crossing, I actually have a lot of like animal amiibos already. But now that I cannot buy them again, I kind of want them again. After not buying anything at Bookoff, we moved on to Crane Game Places and we stayed in Jiko Arcade. So if you cannot find Crane Game Places, just look for red buildings. It's either Jiko or Taito Arcade. As you can see, they have a lot of prizes that are just stunning, but I mainly focused on getting a coin purse. I actually plan to have multiple coin purses, like separately, for my crane game money, gacha money, my snack money, and food money and stuff like that. I tried so hard to get one thing. I tried so hard to get a Monster Ball, a Ultra Ball coin purse, but I failed miserably. My friend actually tried to win some other coin purse with Pokemons on them, but he failed as well. And then finally...
Okay, Dragon first. What? It's not a coin purse. Oh.
Yep. What I thought was a coin purse and spent at least 25 coins on was in fact a bedazzled Ultra Ball plush. So I just decided that I should not play any more crane game that day. I was just done, and we headed to our next destination, which was... We went over to Tokyo Skytree, which was the tower I saw in Skyliner on the way to Akihabara from Narita Airport. It stands over 600 meters from the ground. You can actually purchase the tickets for the observatory online, or you can actually do the walk-in, but you do get some discount when you are making reservation online previously, and they do regulate the number of people going into the observatory for safety reasons. So maybe reserve it before you go there. After you scan your ticket, you will be taken into an elevator that will take you to Tembo Deck, which stands 350 meters above ground. And I didn't really go into this with great expectation because it's an observatory. I'm not a big fan of like city skyline and stuff like that, but it was really beautiful. Like, I didn't really expect it to be that good because it was cloudy, but I could actually see the rain clouds above the sky and the twinkling city below. It was just everything. It was so beautiful. I really enjoyed it. And I'm not a big fan of crowd, and there were actually not that many people in there as well. So before I booked the ticket, I actually searched online, and a lot of people suggested to buy Tembo Deck ticket only. You don't have to do 2 tickets. But I actually bought 2 tickets anyway because, you know, it's an observatory. Even though I visit Tokyo again, there's a high chance that I will not come to this place again, right? So I actually did the double ticket, but yes, I actually understand their point of view for recommending just one option, which is Tembo Deck only, which is actually good enough. After enjoying the breathtaking view of Tokyo skyline, we took the elevator, which took us to 100 meters above Tembo Deck, Tembo Galleria. You can enjoy the short walk to the top along the spiral walkway, and I was mesmerized by the dancing rain cloud outside the window, and it made me feel like walking on the cloud. To fit the name Galleria, they had a special exhibition about a K-pop boy band. I'm gonna try to pronounce their name because if I got it wrong, people will come for me like I'm Nene Leakes at Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. I love her by the way, but my favorite has always been Candy. Anyway, if you are interested in the ongoing exhibition at the time of your visit or not intending to visit the observatory again, I recommend getting the double ticket and enjoy Tembo Galleria as well. I did enjoy it very much and I think it is totally worth it. And on the way down, you can see the glass floor and you can walk on it as well. It was really cool and a completely enjoyable experience. I'm just bluffing, I was scared shitless. So in all, I really enjoyed Skytree Observatory. Then we went down to Soramachi Mall. So Soramachi Mall had a lot of cute places to shop, like Harry Potter store, Disney store, Moomin Cafe, Kirby Cafe, which I failed to make reservations at, and a lot of clothing and cosmetics brand, but we only had 70 minutes before they started closing down the mall, so we didn't really have a lot of time to shop, which I really regret. I really like the mall. And they also have Pokemon Center there, and I got this Pikachu plush that is hugging Skytree. How cute is that? And I also got Pokemon coin purse for 480 yen, which is a small amount compared to the money I wasted on claw machine that night. After getting out of Soramachi Mall, we walked rainy streets of Tokyo for about 20 minutes to get to a sento named as Mikoyuku. So sento is a public onsen or public bath. And what's special about this place is you can actually enjoy your bath with the view of Skytree. By the way, if you're planning to go to onsen or sento, there are certain rules you have to follow, so make sure you learn about those rules and follow them before you get there. After finishing the bath with a bottle of fruit milk, we went back to the hotel. I got some convenience store food because the restaurants were closed, and I got much needed sleep. After getting the much needed sleep, we checked out of the hotel, put our luggage in the hotel reception, and then we walked around Akihabara a little bit, and then we went into this store named Super Potato. Super Potato is a retro game shop. They have a mini arcade on the top floor, and they also have a dagashia, which is Japanese traditional snack store. They're not good for you, as you can tell. They're not healthy at all, but I had to have them. And if you go down from the dagashia floor, you can see the retro game floor right away. It's such a blast from the past. I really wanted to get a Game Boy Advance console and some game packs like Final Fantasy Tactics and Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, but they were more expensive than I thought they would be, so I didn't buy them. I'm still holding out hope that Nintendo will bring in Game Boy Advance games into Nintendo Switch Online. I really hope so. And they also have a lot of game related character stuffs as well, and they are price wise not bad as well. So if you find something you like, I suggest you actually buy it. After getting out of Super Potato, we went into a ramen place to have breakfast. And in this ramen place, I didn't have to speak my kindergarten level Japanese because you can place your order on tablet PC, but my tablet was not working properly for some reason, but I somehow placed my order. I ordered some ramen and gyoza. It was delicious, it was very enjoyable. Now that I had good sleep, somehow good food, I decided to take on the crane game again. And this time we went into Taito Arcade because we actually mainly stayed in Jiko Arcade the previous day. And I actually got yelled at by a worker at Taito Arcade. Somehow they actually don't let you record, but at this one they didn't really have the clerk. But I actually had to just like call the clerk because I won something, and then I had to just like let them know that they should just probably stock it up again. So I won this Togepi plush for my friend because my friend really likes Togepi. And then I went for second coin purse. So I already got my coin purse from Pokemon Center, but I really wanted another one. So they had this EV themed like coin purses, but they didn't have the ones I wanted. So I actually asked the clerk to change that as well. And I actually won the Espeon coin purse for my friend. My friend really loves Espeon as well, but I spent a lot of money on that as well. And I never won that EV one. After walking around wasting more money on crane game machines, I finally won a cup that I could have probably gotten as 300 yen in the character store. We went back to hotel to get our luggage back. And I used the money exchange machine in the hotel because I heard so many horror stories about being swindled by money exchangers on the street, and I needed some money because I spent too much money on the crane game machines. And after that, we headed to Ningyocho, where our next hotel was. Ningyocho basically means Doll's Village. It used to be Dollmaker's Village. You can see these clock towers that put on a show every hour. After unpacking, we went to the next place on our itinerary, Shibuya Sky. Shibuya Sky is a rooftop observatory where you can enjoy the sight of bustling Tokyo in the open air on rooftop of Shibuya Scramble, a fancy Shimanshi shopping mall, from the altitude of 229 meters from the ground. Just like Skytree, they will regulate the number of people allowed in certain time slots, so make sure you get your ticket online in advance if you're planning to visit there. I did enjoy Shibuya Sky, but it was just not a good day for me because some people were being a bit selfish, pushing people around trying to get better pictures, or breaking the rules like cutting in line, taking pictures forever when you should finish it within 30 seconds, reaching their camera outside the guardrail to get closer picture of the city below, imagine dropping it down there. Staffs of course told them not to do all of that, but people did all of that anyway. So in the end, we had to cancel our plan to go to Tokyo Station after Shibuya, which means Pokemon Center DX cancelled, Art Aquarium cancelled. I just hope people will keep in mind that when you're traveling in another country, you are the representation of your ethnicity, nationality, or the entire foreigner or tourist communities in general. But hey, I can be a complete knob and a Karen sometimes, so who am I to judge, right? Even though my experience was not that great, I did enjoy Shibuya Sky on its own. I think it was very Instagrammable, TikTokable, but I did none of that. So, after getting out of Shibuya Sky, we passed the famous Hachiko statue, yes, the dog statue, and crossed crowded Shibuya crossing to get to a department store named Parco. which have a lot of good stores, and their website have global shipping for some stores. But my only purpose was to get to Nintendo Store, Capcom Store, and Pokemon Center. And Nintendo Store didn't have the green Splatoon Joy-Con I wanted because it was sold out, and I just didn't feel like buying anything, but I did end up buying a pen and a really cute Animal Crossing foot plate. And then Capcom Store didn't have the small Monster Hunter figurines that I wanted as well, so I didn't buy anything. I was so disappointed that I didn't even bother to record or buy anything at the Pokemon Center. I was so down. Then I realized that I was perhaps mostly hungry. So we decided to eat, and my mind was set on curry. But Kokoichibanya, the most famous Japanese curry rice fast food chain, was too far away, so we tried a place on Google Maps. I first was confused because the sign looked Russian, not English. But the food was really interesting in a good way. I ordered a craft cola and I could taste the spices used in them. And the curry had a lot of different tastes, and the texture of the ingredients were just really so fun to eat. It was a really good find, and I became as happy as I could be. After dinner, I found a store that was selling Marzino amiibo, which I didn't have, for a good price, and got the amiibo. Then we went into a store I wanted to go in Akihabara but forgot to. Mandarake, which is similar to Buko, has several branches throughout Japan. I almost gave up because you have to climb down series of stairs to get to the Shibuya Mandarake, and I later found out there was an elevator. The store was full of used books and CDs, games, but mostly figurines and super expensive 90s toys that looked like my sleep paralysis demon appearing in my waking nightmare after I take sleeping pills at 2 o'clock in the morning. While browsing, I found this Robin figure, not open, that gets unmasked when you dip it in hot water. I don't even like Batman and Robin, but that's just too 90s for a millennial man-child like myself to resist. And I also got a Gudetama coin purse, Fukuoka version but smudged to hell, like a horror version of Gudetama, which I am really happy about. So the second day sort of ended well. We went back to the new hotel, did the laundry, and had some other beverages and snacks, and I found this musket cream cheese in a shop, but I forgot that I was on a medication that made me throw up whenever I had dairy products, so I couldn't eat it. But when I tried it later, it was interesting. Let's just keep it at that. I probably will have to continue this later because the nature's cooling, and by nature's cooling it's 6 in the morning and I stayed up all night, so I probably should sleep now. I'll see you later. Bye.